Russia, India, China bonhomie on show at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin. Against the backdrop of trade tensions and Donald Trump's tariffs, the meet sent out a strong message to Washington. Even as the Trump administration targets India for its ties with Russia, the bond between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Vladimir Putin is only growing stronger. From formal photo ops to casual carpooling, the two leaders showcased a friendship that's more than just diplomatic protocol. But not everyone was amused. Some watched the camaraderie with a skeptical eye. In one of the videos going viral from the summit, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif was seen looking on with a grim expression.
1 декабря исполняется 15 лет со дня принятия совместного заявления, в котором отмечен выход наших отношений на уровень особого привилегированного стратегического партнерства. Можно уверенно констатировать, что многоплановые российско-индийские связи активно развиваются на этих принципах.
Prime Minister Modi has extended an invitation to President Putin and called for renewed peace efforts to resolve the Ukraine crisis.
हमारा करीबी सहयोग न केवल दोनों देशों के लोगों के लिए बल्कि वैश्विक शांति, स्थिरता और समृद्धि के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है। यूक्रेन में चल रहे संघर्ष के विषय में हम लगातार चर्चा करते रहे हैं। हाल में किए गए शांति के सभी प्रयासों का हम स्वागत करते हैं।
President Putin said ties between India and Russia are stronger than ever.
У нас такие отношения, что я считал, что вы и так все понимаете.
हमारे इतने रिश्ते हैं कि मुझे ऐसा लगा कि आपको कोई अनुवाद नहीं चाहिए.
The Russia-India-China trio is emerging as a powerful alternative on the global stage. Not to challenge the West directly, but to offer new options for the world. With Gaurav Sawant reporting from China, Bureau Report, India Today.
So after a successful visit to China, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just touched down in India. He's reached back home. There will be a lot of analysis about how successful was his trip, his interactions with the Russian president, with the Chinese president. We'll talk about that in greater detail, but we're getting the first reaction of the American president. US President Donald Trump has just reacted on Truth Social platform, and I want to get you details of what the American president has said. He said, and I quote, and I want you to look at what he said. What few people understand is that we do very little business with India, but they do tremendous amount of business with us. In other words, they sell us massive amounts of goods, their biggest client, but we sell them very little. Until now, a totally one-sided relationship, and it's been there for many decades. The reason is that India has charged us until now such high tariff, most of any country, that our businesses are unable to sell into India. It has been totally one-sided disaster. Also, India buys most of its oil and military products from Russia, very little from the United States. They've now offered to cut their tariffs to nothing, but it's getting late. They should have done so years ago. Just some simple facts for people to ponder. I want to quickly cut across to India Today's Pranay Upadhyay, who joins us with more on the story. Pranay, when you look at the American president's message, is this a reaction to the images that the whole world saw? There is tremendous criticism of Donald Trump, even in the United States of America, that he seems to have pushed a close strategic partner, a comprehensive strategic partner, closer into the arms of the Chinese president and the Russian president. So explain to us what President Trump wants to say.
You're absolutely right, Gaurav. President Trump trying to explain to his domestic audience as well that why he is doing why he has put 50% tariffs on India. And I think he's failing on justifying his mathematics on that, because who has backed out? here the larger question remains. It is the United States who was supposed to send their team in mid of August, late August, to India to take forward the negotiations. They have backed out from that negotiation. They did not send their team. Also, before sending their team, he has already levied additional 25% tariffs on India. So therefore, it is for the United States to explain. But on the other side, you also have to see what the US Embassy in New Delhi has tweeted. They have posted on their social media account saying that there is a firm relationship, there is a close partnership between India and United States, and also the US and India partnership is like people-to-people contact. It's like heavily invested, and also its most pivotal partnership of the 21st century. What does it mean? This means that in the close quarters,
Stay with me for a moment. Let's try and widen the scope of this discussion. And on India today, on India First, we get you different points of view from across the world. So I have Andrew K.P. Leung, he's a China strategist and analyst who joins us on this broadcast. I have Bill Drexel, fellow at the Hudson Institute, joining us from the United States of America. With me is Lieutenant General Raj Shukla, former Army commander, Dr. Tara Kartha, former Director of National Security Council, and Professor Shrikant Kondapalli, Professor of China Studies at the prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru University. And these are analysts par excellence. I want to begin by asking you, Andrew K.P. Leung, the view in China of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's bilateral with the Chinese president on the sidelines of the SCO and the outcomes, the mention of Pahalgam terror. How is China viewing the outcomes?
Well, of course, Beijing views this as a very positive development. But this positive development is not so much that India and China are pulled together as they are pushed together by what President Trump is doing to disrupt and discard the rule-based order, which was founded by the United States after the Second World War. And of course, as far as the United States is concerned, President Trump is concerned, his attitude seems to be that America is still the most powerful country on earth. He can do, America can do what he likes and to bend the whole world to his will. I mean, he doesn't really care about in this partnership, as he doesn't care about European Union's partnership as well, in spite of the long-standing transatlantic relationship. And is imposing tariffs not only against China and Russia, perceived as Americans' existential threat, but also on allies like India and European Union. And in fact, this disruption of the whole world supply and value chain and the tariffs are also causing harm to a lot of countries around the world, especially in the Global South. Hence the rallying under the umbrella of the SCO to really recalibrate relationships and to move the world towards a more cooperative international environment.
Let me get a view from the United States of America. Bill Drexel, the warm hug between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Russian President Vladimir Putin, the fact that President Putin apparently waited for Prime Minister Narendra Modi for 10 minutes. They had a 45-minute long discussion in the car, then another 45-minute long discussion with the group, and of course the bilateral with Chinese President Xi Jinping. How is America looking at a comprehensive strategic partner and these images that emerge from the other side of the world, sir?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think we might have to make a distinction between how maybe DC and the strategic community generally are looking at this and how the administration's looking at this. There's no question that this sort of development is really a